You are watching Melody Lane. With me you're gonna have a great crafting time.
Hi everyone, it's Melody Lane, and today I'm going to show you how to make this teapot from Lori Whitlock in Cricut Design Space. And she also made a teapot creamer and a teapot sugar bowl. And here's some other teapots. I'll put a link to this in the description below in my video. So let's get started. I've already got the teapot SVG, so let's go to Design Space. If you want to skip the Design Space directions, there's a link in the description to take you straight to the tutorial of putting the teapot together. And in Design Space, we're going to go to Upload Image, and we're going to click Upload Image on the left side of the screen. So we're going to click Browse and find the teapot. Here's my folder it's in, and here's the SVG. You want to make sure you use the one that's an SVG, not the JPEG or PDF. JPEG is a picture of the completed object, and the PDF shows you the layout of the cuts. So we're just going to download the SVG. Click Open. So here it is, and it's titled with Lori Whitlock 3D Teapot 2. Let's click Save. And here it is right here. So we're going to click on it so it has this green check mark, and then go to Insert Image down here at the bottom. We wait for it to all come in, and I can zoom out to see it all. It's all there. First thing we need to do is in the Layers panel, go to the bottom and click Ungroup. We want to ungroup everything. Okay, these dash lines are cut lines, but I want them to be score lines. But first, we need to attach them to the item because they're not attached. They're all by themselves. So when we hit go, they won't know where to go. They won't know where to score. So I'm going to draw a box around them. And you can see over here in the Layers panel that they're both selected. And I'm going to click Attach. Now let's hit go so you can see what happens if you don't attach them. So this is a set I have not attached. This one I have attached. So this is the set I just attached. That's how we want them to look. We don't want these score lines all off to the side, not on our item. So we're going to click the X to go back. And so I'm going to finish attaching all of these. You can see they're both selected, and then click Attach. Now this one down here, you cannot see the score lines. For some reason, they're invisible. There's a little line right here. The score lines are there where they should be, but you just can't see them. I let Lori know, so maybe she can change the file. Start on the bottom right corner to drag a box around it. And you'll see over here, you have the two layers selected and click Attach. Now let's do the same for everything else. Attach. And attach. And you see these words, this is to tell you that this is the bottom base and that this piece is for the lid. I don't want to cut out those words, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the eye so it hides them. Now let's hit go and make sure everything is correct. That looks right, and that looks right. On these pieces, I think I want to print them. So let's click the X. First, we need to make these dash lines into score lines. If you click it, you can see they're cut lines. So we're going to click the scissors and click Score. That's all we have to do. So let's go to the next set. This one, click the scissors and hit Score. Not all the scissors, only the scissors that are in the lines, in the little boxes that you can't see the lines very well. If they have the pink, you don't want to change that to Score. Only the score lines. So click the scissors, click Score. And you have to have the image selected. So just click on the image, click the scissors, and click Score. There. Now all of those will score instead of cut. And I want to fill these with a pattern. And I want the pattern to fill in the whole image. So I'm going to select this set, and I'm going to weld. So now I'm going to click the scissors and change it to print. Once you change it to print, you can add a pattern. So under here, let's click on Patterns. And I want to use a pattern that I uploaded. So I'm going to go to Filter at the bottom, click on Uploaded. And I think I'm going to use this one. And it changes that. And it has a little line here because this is where one image is and then it starts the next image. So I'm going to go to edit. I don't want that line there. I'm going to move this. Let's try 170. I think that works. I don't see a line there. I do see a teeny line at the top. Let's click the printer again, click edit. You see if I can, nope, go the other way. There we go. So I'm going to move it up so there's no line at the top or bottom. And actually, I'm going to do the same thing to this, but it might be easier just to duplicate that. So I have that done. They're exactly the same. So I'm going to select all of these and delete them. You could just do the same thing, but I think it's easier to do that. So let's hit go. These are set to print. So I'm ready to print and cut everything out. And then I'm going to show you how to put the teapot together. So I printed this on Cricut printable vinyl on best quality. So I'm going to put this in the machine and click the arrow to upload the mat. And then press go. And now it's reading the sensor marks. See that light? After reading the sensor marks, it starts into cutting right away. Unload the mat. Now, you still have all this extra room here. You can cut this off and save that. It's printable vinyl. That means you can color it. You can have the Cricut write on it, draw on it, and color it yourself with markers or paints or anything you like to use. Now to cut the teapot. I loaded my mat. I set my things to go on 3 different mats by changing the color of a few of them so I can use 8.5 by 11 paper and not 12 by 12 because I'm using Gina K Designs paper. It only comes in 8.5 by 11. I'm using her Pure Luxury cardstock, Passionate Pink. It's nice and thick. So I'm going to load my mat and it's asking me to put in the score tool. I already had the score tool in, but from cutting the printable vinyl, I had my dial set to Vinyl Plus. Now I want to move it to Cardstock Plus. The notch just after cardstock to make sure it cuts all the way through, and now I'm ready to hit go. Once it's done scoring, it automatically starts cutting. Now unload the mat. And it's scored and cut for us. All right, let me get the rest of it cut out and we'll get started putting it together. Okay, I've got everything cut out and I've started putting it together already. Don't worry, I'm going to show you everything. Here is the printable vinyl. When you do print and cut in Cricut Design Space, it puts a bleed around it so it makes sure it cuts perfectly. And it did, because I can see color all the way around. So there's no white edges. And if you like this pattern, it's one of my digital papers. You can get it at melodylanedesigns.com. This is in the Molly set. There's a lot of different images in each set. So because I love all you guys for watching, I'm going to give you a discount code on the Molly set. Code is Molly45. And that code is for the Molly set only. But there's a free sample also. You may have to do 2 different checkouts because the code is only good for the one set. But you can get the sample set. It's completely free. And I have a lot of new sets coming out soon. So go check out the Molly set for 45% off. I think it looks pretty with this paper. Now let me show you how I did this. First, let's start with this. I folded this while I was waiting for the other cuts to finish. And I found a really easy way to do it. I'm using my spatula to make sure I get the cuts right. So put the spatula, you can use the flat side or any side. So it has score lines right here on each edge. And so I put the spatula there, I put my thumb here and bent it up. So I went around and just turned it and did that on every single one. It was really quick. Once you do one of these teapots, I think you could put a lot of them out there. And you can buy a license to sell the teapot once you make it. For only $8, you can sell up to 50 of them. or you can pay more to sell more of them. And then once you have all the edges up, then you just fold this up like this. It's so easy. And then here are the handles. I put the handles so they match up. And you have to make sure they match up, because if you put them another way, they don't match up perfectly. See, I just had to find the way they match. So I put the spatula on the scored edge and bent it. And just did that with my thumb. So easy. And the same thing with the spout. I just put this on the score line and bent it over. Put this on the score line and bent it over. And it helps give it that extra edge you need to get it folded correctly. Now with this piece, I want the score lines. Can you see the score lines? There. You can see the score lines. I want the score lines to be on the inside of my card. I don't want to see them from the outside of the teapot. So I'm going to put my stickers on this side of the card. But I can't see where all the score lines go. So I'm going to score this first. I don't need the spatula for this one because the score lines are so easy. You just flip that down, and then flip this over. Because the Cricut Explorer scored them, it makes it really easy. So flip that down, flip that one over, and flip that one over. And then this one on the edge. You get the idea? Okay, so now there's more score lines across here. So just push those down. And you don't have to fold them all the way down. Just a little, like that, because it's not going to be folded all the way over. There we go. So now we want to put the stickers on, now that we know where they go. If you did paper, you'll have to glue it down. But if you did a pattern like this, make sure this will line up like this. And you want them all to line up across. So I'm putting this one on first, where I think it should go. I don't always do this perfect. So now the next one, I'm going to try to get it where I think it goes, but also line it up with this one. Because they're going to be right next to each other on the pot. And same with this one, I'm going to look at the other side. I'm going to line it up the top here, bottom here, and also where it starts right here. You can make a teapot without these extra pieces if you wanted to. In Cricut Design Space, you could have the Cricut right on top of this if you wanted and make some swirls. You could paint them or color them or do anything you want. Remember, this is yours. Once you buy it, you can make it however you like it. Okay, so I'm going to put the rest of these on and then we'll come back and do the rest of it and put it together. There we go. We're almost done. Now we have the lid. And this looks like it's going to be pretty easy also. This might make it a little easier. Yep. So if you put the spatula right on the score line and bend it up, you'll have a perfect score. And then there's also a score line here and here. So first, let's set it down and bend it up. So we have that edge there, and then we also have the score line here. And then we'll put that together and that's going to be the lid. Let's start with the body of the teapot. Oh, we forgot to score this part. There. So now we scored it like this. Let's put this together. I've already put one side together, and I'll have to tell you, I was making a mistake. When you score these, score them this way. If you've already scored them one way, it doesn't matter. They'll just fold out really easy. So these get scored this way. And this is how it should look. I was folding these down and putting them on the inside. They don't go on the inside. And if you can see here, I glued them. Let me show you how I did it. I had to rip them apart. But you won't see this at all anyway, because I'm going to put that as the bottom and this will cover it up. So there's no problems. What I did is I was putting them together like this and folding that down. And then I got around and I'm like, well, that's not right. But look, you could make a box like this and you get 2 boxes like this out of the one file. So you can use this Teapot SVG and make other things. This could be a gift box. And you fold these up and close them up. And then you could put just a little square over that or something. But let's score these correctly because today we're doing a teapot. I'm going to use art glitter glue I got from Made It. Okay, I'm going to start in this corner and I am going to put some glue here. You don't need much. I'm just trying to spread it around. Just a little there. And so I'm going to look at these edges. I want this edge here to look nice, and that's what I'm looking for. And then bringing that up. So I'm going to hold this here for a second until the glue dries. There. So now we have to do the next one. The less glue you use, the faster it dries. But make sure you use enough so it stays. Don't want our tea leaking out now, do we? Okay, I'm kidding. Don't really put liquid in here. So line that up and line this up. And hold it there. Or if you use dry adhesive, you don't need to hold it. But this glue dries pretty quickly. Okay, that was pretty quick and easy. So let's do this one. Spread it out thin. Line that up, then line the top edge up. If you use dry adhesive, you might have to put all the adhesive on while it's flat, because it would be hard to put it on while you're doing this. Okay, so now we have our second half. Okay, now we got the 2 halves of the teapot. Now to put them together. You do not put those tabs together or you won't have any tab here. And you can't forget the spout and the teapot handle. Remember that song? Here is the spout, here's the handle, something like that. I can't sing, sorry. But now you have that song stuck in your head. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue these 2 pieces together. I did not get any instructions with this. And if I did, I didn't read them, so sorry. And let me say, May from MayMayMadeIt.com, my friend who does This Crafty Life with me, we do a show, and Lori Whitlock was just recently on our show. I'll put a link to that video up here in the iCard, right up there. I challenged her to do this teapot with the Brothers Scan and Cut. So she's also doing a video with the teapot with the Brothers Scan and Cut. So I'm really interested in seeing how she put it together. Like I said, she could totally be putting this together in a different way. I don't know. I haven't seen her video yet. This out like that. So make sure you do it so that can bend out. So I'm holding this so this will completely dry with my fingers glued to them. Now we can't forget the spout. That goes on the other end. So let's make sure I get these right. And I think I need to flatten these out like this. So it's more like this instead of like that. So just push those out like that. Same with this one. Look. You can make a boat. So now we want want to put this here. I'm going to glue this together. And you got to make sure you're doing it correctly. Now, it really doesn't matter which is the bottom, but because I messed up on this, I want this to be my bottom. So that's my bottom. That will go like this, and this will go here. So I am going to put my spout here. Oh, so now I see. I'm going to put that fold this in, but on the other side, and put that here. So I'm putting that there. You see that? And I probably should have done that on the other, with the handle too. Did I say earlier this is my first time putting it together? So I probably should have had the handle out there. Yeah, see, I don't think it really matters. So I'm going to hold this down. Make sure the score lines on each side are lined up. Like the score line here and the score line there. So you don't have a lopsided teapot. Make sure you can still fold this out like this so it'll stick out like that. And then I'm going to add glue on this tab here and up here. And we're going to put this together just like we did everything else. Just like we did each one. We're going to do that here. Then we're going to turn it over and do the same thing here. Make sure it's all lined up and looks nice on the outside. We're almost done. Now we have to get to this side, and I'm going to put glue here. Line that up. So the edge of the paper is right on the score line. And then we're going to do the same thing. Put a little glue there, a little glue there. Pull this up there. And put my finger inside. A little glue squirted out. Okay, we're almost done. Now let's make the bottom. So on the bottom, I'm going to make sure that fits and everything. I'm going to put glue just on these little tabs here. I can do 2 at a time. And just line up the score line with the edge of the paper. Okay, now we got the bottom done. And you could make the bottom and the lid a different color if you like. Now, this is a box. You can put things in here. This would be a great gift to put some different kinds of tea bags and things inside. Let's get the lid together. This is just like all the other images. You just put a little glue on the tab, on each tab, and go around. Let's start here on the end. And line up the edge of the paper with the score line or the fold. And you continue on doing the same thing. Okay, now on the end one we want to put a little glue here too, and there, and we're going to do them both at the same time. Line them up. There we go. And we got our teapot. Okay, I wanted something to cover up this little hole here. So this is a brad. Can you see? See, it's a brad. So I'm putting that in there. And then opening up the little feet on the brad. So it looks like that. Now you can use any brad. This one is kind of like sparkling jewel tone, and I like it, but it's kind of flat, and I don't want it flat. So I just found these. Got these for $1. I think someone gave these to me. I always love to collect bling, and I could even use the purple. And this is adhesive bling. So I'm just going to stick it right on top of that. You could glue some blings onto just any brad, any little flat brad. Now that just totally finishes it off. And you might want to hot glue that. There, so now it has some little bling on it. I could add some little bling around the outside of the lid. That would be cute. So there's my teapot. How do you like it? This would be a great gift for Mother's Day or for a birthday or anything, or just a thank you. And don't forget the sugar and creamer containers you can make to match. So I'll put all my links below in the description of the video so you can make the teapot too. And don't forget the discount code for my Molly digital paper set. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you, and I love the comments, so keep them coming. I would love to see what you come up with. If you make it, share a picture anywhere on social media and tag me and Lori Whitlock, because she loves to see what people do with her projects. Thanks for watching, and here's a shout out to a few of the people who support me on Patreon. Bye, guys. See you in the next video.
Barbara, Deborah, Evelyn, Betty, Donna, Carla, Anna, Nita, Robin, Lisa, Tabitha, Bonnie, Carla, Lynn, Misty, Jerry, Carla, Denise, Cheryl, Patricia, Sandy, Marty, Trish, Rhonda, Nancy, and June. Thanks, guys.
You are watching Melody Lane. With me, you're gonna have a great crafting time.